we can look forward to a double header of local racing action on Saturday. Hello again from me, Rouvaun Smit. Good to have you along for a sure thing. We're about to look at the race meeting at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth in Cape Town, where the weather this week has been a little bit iffy. It's been windy, it's been cloudy, we even had a bit of rain, and let's give fingers crossed that things clear up nicely, that we can look forward to a nice sunny and warm weekend in the mother city. 8 races on the card means the first race is the opening leg of the bipot. It gets underway at 12:40, and a big field of 17 runners will get the day underway. It's a maiden plate to be run over 1,200 metres. Let me start with number 1, Tripping Thunder. Now this horse showed lots of pace from the get-go and was just touched off when fitted with blinkers last time out, and I do feel a repeat of that kind of run will make him very competitive and very hard to pick back in the run to the wire this time round. That's definitely the horse that I'm going to side with, number 1, Tripping Thunder, as my first choice selection in the opener. I also think you need to include number 2, Chasing the Rainbow. This horse showed good improvement from first to second start, and there should be more to come. 3, Imo Kelly, same thing can be said about that one. Showed good improvement from first to second start, and with further natural improvement, definitely must be included. 6, Man of Devotion. That was a moderate debut, but is bound to have come on with the benefit of that one under the belt, especially with Grand Fanicat on board. That one should show good improvement. And then there's number 10, Wave of Glory. This horse will have a chance if he repeats that penultimate run. So as I said, I'm siding with 1, Tripping Thunder, ahead of 2, 5 and 6 in the opener. Race 2 is a Class 3 over 1,600, where 8 runners will face the starter. And on paper, there's pretty little to choose between number 5, Future Turn, and number 8, Hat's Pride. 0.3 lengths separates them. 5, Future Turn, finished ahead of 8, Hat's Pride, and I can't see this form being reversed. In fact, I'm pretty much in the camp of 5, Future Turn. My first choice selection, and in all likelihood, I'm going to banker this one in the opening leg of the place accumulator. Solid form, but for that penultimate, where it was a little bit below form, but the jockey did feel that something went amiss on that occasion. Last time out, he ran an absolute cracker when second over the course and distance. He's drawn in the middle of the pack, will jump to go and sit on the heels of the early speed, and shortly after turning for home will kick and say, come and catch me if you can in the run to the wire. So I'm going with 5, Future Turn to win it, ahead of 8, Hat's Pride. For third, I'm going with 1, French Flame, who from pole position will have the run of the race. And for fourth, I'm going with 6, Prevalence, who drops back in trip and is having his peak run. 5, 8, 1, 6, the numbers, race 2. We now move on to race 3. Race 3 is the Summer Country Championship 1,600 final. 11 runners will go to post in race 3. And here I'm siding with number 4, Iconic Destination. This horse showed good improvement in its last 2 starts. Both those runs were over 1,400. That tells me that this horse will enjoy the step up to 1,600. This horse is drawn at 4, will be up handy, and I do think will be staying on where it matters most so. 4, Iconic Destination gets the verdict from me to win it. For second, I'm going with 1, Rich Folks Hoax. This horse ran on powerfully when finishing behind number 7, Caborna Lassetti. I'm going with Rich Folks Hoax ahead of Caborna Lassetti because Craig Zaki retains the right end from pole position. I do think will be a little bit more competitive than number 7, Caborna Lassetti, who picked up a £4 penalty for that last win over the course and distance. And for fourth, I'm going for number 9, Master of Paris. That was a good second last time out over further, but from up handy, could be staying on and must be included for one of the minor placings. So 4, 1, 7, 9 are the numbers I'm going with in race number 3. Race 4 is the Summer Country Championship 1,800 final, where 9 runners will go to post, and a couple of them are renewing rivalry. I'll start with number 3, Quite a King. Now, Quite a King renews rivalry with number 9, Groove Jet. Quite a King is 2 kilos bit over the weights for a 1.2 length 5 beating. So that tells me that there's enough to turn the tables in Quite a King's favour. 8 To the Moon and Back also renews rivalry with number 9, Groove Jet. If one looks at the penultimate start, To the Moon and Back is now 2.5 kgs bet over the weights for the 3.85 length beating by number 9, Groove Jet. So that brings To the Moon and Back closer to the action. 9 Groove Jet has won his last 2 starts. The last one was over 2,000 metres. The horse that finished 7th that day was a horse called Aladdin's Lamp. That one has subsequently come out and won. Now the problem with Groove Jet is he sometimes may leave it for a little bit too late. If he times it to perfection, he's well on song to pull off the hat trick. However, I'm going with what it says to me on paper. I'm going with 3 Quite a King to win it, ahead of 9 Groove Jet. For third, 8 To the Moon and Back. And for fourth, I'm going with 7 Gentleman's Joe, who's having his third run after a rest. We move on to race 5 on the card. And this is the Summer Country Championship 1400 final. 14 runners will go to post. And yeah, I think a case can be made for more than one of them. I'll start with number 2, Industrial Strength. Now, I thought this horse was extremely unlucky last time out and should have finished much closer to the winner as he had to switch out at a crucial stage of the race. The form line of that race has held up very well. In fact, 3 horses have come out of that form line and franked it. He is well drawn in stall gate too, gets the services of regular pilot Craig Zaki, and I do think, to me, he is an each-way selection in a race like this. Number 3, Family Power, model of consistency. If one looks at the last 4 runs on the Grand Van der Kerk, always involved in the action, and I think we should get another honest run from number 3, Family Power. 11, Swiatek, also solid recent form, second in its last 3 over the course and distance, not without a chance except for the deep draw. And then there's number 12, What a Fortune, ultra consistent over the course and distance, can make his presence felt. So you see, a case can be made for a number of these horses, and you probably need to put in all of them to safely see you through whatever exotics you're playing. I'm going for them 3, 2, 11, 12 in that order in race number 5. Race 6 is the Summer Country Championship 1000 final over 1200 metres. And here also a case can be made for a couple. Number 2, All About Al, has finished in the money in all 3 its course and distance run. Now he's also 2.5 kilos better off at the weights with number 3, Bluff on Bluff, but he did finish 2.95 lengths behind Bluff on Bluff, so that brings him closer to number 3, Bluff on Bluff. And on the subject of Bluff on Bluff, he of course won his last start over 1100 metres. The horse that finished third that day was a horse called Elusive Winter, who has subsequently come out and franked that form line, and I do think that Bluff on Bluff can go and follow up with another win in this particular lineup. 4, Unbaldi showed pace over 1200 last time out and just got out one of it in the run to the wire. Ideally course and distance suited. He's having his peak run with Alda de Meyer on board. 7, Barney McGrew absolutely loves this course and distance, always runs an honest race. And then there's number 8, Rafa Bay. Now he is half a kilo better off at the weights with 7, Barney McGrew for a 0.5 length beating, so that should put the 2 of them literally next to each other as they hit the wire. Very competitive sprint over the 1000 metres. Where am I going? I'm going with 3, Bluff on Bluff to go back to back and win it, ahead of 7, 2 and 4. Penultimate race, race 7, is the Summer Country Championship 1200, where 12 runners will contest race 7 on the card. Let me start with number 5, Tough Terrain. Now, Tough Terrain is a kilo better off at the weights with number 9, Golden Destiny, and that was for a 0.6 length beating. That should be enough to turn the tables. Alda de Meyer's got it to ride, and I do think that he can make the difference on board number 5, Tough Terrain. 6, Fort Red, always there or thereabout. He's a 3-time course and distance winner. He is also 3 kilos better off at the weights. He's 3 kilos better off at the weights with a horse called Snooty, with whom he renews rivalry, and that was for a 2.5 length beating. So that should be enough for him to turn the tables with number 12, Snooty. So you can see there's crisscrossing form lines in this race. 7, Captain's Destiny, consistent form, will be challenging strongly like he did last time out when he was second best, and he's definitely one of those that could be in the firing line as they hit the wire. And then there's 9, Golden Destiny, who ran on from last at long odds to get up and win going away last time out. So a case can be made for a number of them. You can see 5 and 9, they renew rivalry, And then we've got 6 and 12 that renew rivalry. So where do we go? Race number 7. I'm going to go 5, Tough Terrain to win it, ahead of 8, 6 and 9. Moving on to race 8, which is a Class 3 over 1200. 12 runners to contest the last of the afternoon. I'll start with number 1, Oliver. Now, Oliver, disappointed last time out. Jockey felt something amiss. Grant van Niekerk does know him well, and I do think he could come and redeem himself this time round with a much better performance. 6, Rosh Kadesh, absolutely loves 1200. He'll be kicking on strongly from behind in the run to the wire. 8, Arctic Wizard, also one that cannot be ignored, ideally course and distance suited, will be up with a pace from the get-go. 9, Captain West, I think is much better than that last 2 starts. I think if he regains his earlier form, could pop up. 10, Dumbledore, finished close-up second last time out, and that was behind a decent sort. 11, Tarango, won easy last time out, and runs exceptionally well for jockey Aldo de Meyer, who is back on board. So you see, there's a couple of them that one needs to take into account going into the last race. Not an easy end to the day. How am I playing it? I'm going 6, 8, 10 and 11 in race number 8. And that takes care of racing at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday. Trust it will be a good afternoon's racing. Find the winners, as Shane would have said, hit them on sunshine. Till next time, cheers for now.